这里是由中央广播电视总台财经节目中心主办的走村直播看脱贫大型融媒体行动。今天我们来到的是河南省平舆县西洋潭村，我是记者孟夏冰。您可以通过央视财经频道、央视财经客户端、央广经济之声、中国交通广播收听收看我们的节目。
Tune in our program through a number of channels such as China National Radio Station and also China Central Television
他们开
Station.
始发展了一个技能，让大家脱贫致富。这个技能是什么呢？就是藤
So
编
this
技
is
能。
a
大家可以
village
听到啊，我
that
身边
is
非常的热
engaged in
闹。
poverty
现在我身边
alleviation
正在
through
进行
a
的呢，就是一场
craftsmanship,
藤
which
编
is
的
the
技能大赛。什么是
rattan
藤编
weaving,
呢？
and right
先给大家
behind
看一
me
看
is
吧，好
a
不好？也不知道大家
competition
了不了解。
about weaving
我们看一下，现在大家都是在
rattans,
拿着一些
and you can take a
框架
look
哈，
and
看
see
把这
whether you
些
have
藤
some
条
knowledge on this,
先
and
固定在这
you
个
can see
铁
that
质
each
的
and
框
every
架
one of
上
them
面。
they have a frame
然后再
to
通过这
first
样的
and
来回
to
编织，
first
我们找一个
fix
看有没
this
有人正在编织哈，来这
wicker
边看一
or
下。
rattan on those frames, and now let's see if someone is right now weaving those
来回的编织，哇，这个进
rattans.
度好像比
So
刚才那个进度快了很多。
this lady is weaving the rattan already, and she is well ahead of the competition.
我稍微打扰您一下哈，您就是这样，我们就是这样来回。
Well, let me briefly interrupt here. So you just need to weave through different lanes of rattan. Yes. How long have you been learning this? Well, I have been doing this for 8 years. Well, I see you are already a very skilled worker. So how long did you learn this? I learned in Zhejiang province. And I used to just take care of my kids. I didn't go out. Do you think this is difficult? No. So it takes a lot of time to practice. Exactly. How much money can you make every year out of this? Well, tens of thousands of bucks. How does it compare to the years before? I think it's a lot better, and I can make a lot of money, and I can also, I don't need to go out. I can just stay at my home and make some money. So what is the measurement standard for competition? Well, it looks at your speed and also the quality. All right, I won't be of a bother, and so you keep on doing this. So this is not the traditional concept of rattan, and it's actually a new kind of a material. It's in plastic, and it has one very good feature, which is that it's very endurable, and it's very resistant to a lot of rubbing, and it's very popular products that are used outdoors. And you can see that there are a lot of contestants. And so what are the rules of this competition? Hi, so you are the moderator today. You look gorgeous. And can you give us some introduction about the rules of today's competition? Yes, no problem. We have 160 contestants. They are from 2 different competition zones, and 80 of them are from the outdoor relaxation industry park, and the other 80 they are from the poverty alleviation workshops in the village. And we are conducting this competition in 4 teams, and they each have 60 minutes. Within these 60 minutes, they have to weave exactly the same product. So they're just weaving a armband and back aid for an air chair, for a chair, exactly. And we will have to look at their precision, their quality, and also their speed. Question: will they be able to finish within 60 minutes? Answer: it's quite difficult, but still they are doing this very fast. Question: so in addition to those professionals, we also have villagers taking part in the competition. Answer: at the very beginning, they don't have much knowledge, but we had a lot of trainings for them at the village and township level. Well, I want to try it out and see how difficult it is. Well, you can refer to our referee. So I can have a try on this. No problem, I can teach you. So this is a frame you need to work on, and this is a this is the back part of the chair, and this is exactly the same frame that they are using. And you just need to do this one by one, make it go across different lanes, and so one is up, the other is down, and you just need to. So I saw people sticking nails on this frame. Yes, they have to fix this string from one end, and then they need to quickly go through the different lanes and fix them on the other edge. So all right, let me try this out. Well, let me give you a stand. All right, so this is the string that you need to pull through. Well, they need to go across different directions when they go through the lanes, and so this is just like waving a small tool as a child. So how many years have you been doing this? I've been doing this for 12 years. And I started doing this in 2001. Well, I'm a lot slower than you, clearly, and it may take me one day to finish this. Well, you have to practice for like at least 1 month. So now you are a trainer? Yes, I'm training people who learn how to weave rattans. So what are the trainees? Those are the villagers from impoverished families. So how long does it take for them to learn? Well, they have to spend roughly 15 days, half a month, to learn. This is just to learn the basics. And if they want to become a very skilled worker, and it takes them another year. So I just need to pull the string from the different bars and lines. And so can they do with machines? We have thought about it, but the quality is quite different with machine. So you're saying that with machines you can still do that, but we don't have those machines right now. So what are the features that cannot be replaced by machines? Well, so this is purely handmade, and for machines they can only handle flat areas, but we have a curve here, and we have a corner here, and you cannot use the machine to handle those corners and edges. So how do you handle the edges? Well, let me just show you, and you can take this chair. Well, let me just give you a demo here. Well, you're super fast. Well, you will have to practice your hand view to become a fast craftsman. So what is the measurement standards for this competition? Well, we will have to look at your looks. It has to be beautiful. So they're using the same frame, but in the end, the product will look differently. And those good craftsmen, and they will have very reasonably flat edges and curves, and they have to look very beautiful. You have to cover the nails at the edges and also at the very corner. For example, here you need to wrap the corner, and if you are a consumer, and if you discover a flaw from a product, then you won't buy. Or you may make some complaints about this product. Currently, there are many enterprises competing with us, but we are the winner of the competition, and we are the only one that could handle those details on a product. Well, let me just try this corner out. So how is that different from those flat areas? So when you weave, you have to use the material, use the string to cover the corner, and that's very difficult. So this is plastic rattan, exactly. So why do you use plastic? In the past, we used to use those natural plant rattans, but they're not very endurable. They easily go rotten, and now we just replace them with materials and it's with plastics, and it can be recycled. And to just give you one example, when this chair ends its lifespan, it can be recollected and reused, and our products are exported to European and American countries. So what are the other features? It's water resistant, moisture resistant, it's very resistant and endurable, and it's easy to clean. And if it is a plant rattan, and when it rains and when it is outdoor, you can simply ruin your product. So can you make a judgment about my work? Well, you need to spend a couple of days here. Am I a fast learner or a slow one or a potential craftsman? Well, I think you have great potential. I think this is a lot of fun doing this. So in addition to this type of weaving, are there other weaving methods? Yes, this is the most simple one. So for this one, this is the regular approach, and we have some techniques that craft some patterns and even a flower on the surface. And we're using, for example, this one is very thin. We have round strings, and which are, very difficult. Well, can you maybe bring us to a very skilled worker, and let's see how he or she is doing? Well, let's just select this one. So he's fast. So he's almost about to finish. So how long have you been doing this? More than 10 years. So this is about the investment in time and how much practice that you do. So most of these trainees are from nearby. Yes, most of them are villagers living nearby, and we just imported from this industry from Zhejiang. I was originally from Sichuan province, and I helped brought this business here to this village. All right. We very much look forward to the very end of this competition, and thank you very much for teaching me how to weave and crave those rattans. So in addition to those professionals, we also have a lot of villagers taking part in this competition. How did those villagers become craftsmen here? So we have a colleague who is broadcasting live right now in that village, and we will now bring you there. All right, I'm right now at the poverty alleviation workshop in the Xiyangtan village of County and Pingyu County. So I'm right now sitting on this chair, and it's very comfortable. And in this workshop, you see a very robust scene of work. And Yan Yan, who has just joined me, and she will give us some introduction. So when was this workshop built? It was in May 2015. What did you do before that? In 2016, the government focused on this outdoor furniture industry, and they attracted some investment from other places. And at the time, I was just a housekeeper, a housewife. I was just taking care of my baby, and then I joined this workshop. And I started to, even before that, I started to weave some products and make some money. So how did you get into this workshop? And then the government built this workshop, and I saw a lot of villagers. They have a lot of free time, and they don't have other revenue sources. And then I just encouraged all of them to be part of this workshop. So it has been 3 years. And how do you compare today to 3 years ago. So we have 27 villagers from impoverished families, and right now they can make an average of 2,000 yuan per month. So you just mentioned that we have some members from impoverished families. Are they with us? Yeah, for example, this one, Madam Yin. Hi, hello. How long have you been working here? 3 years. So you have been here since the workshop was built? Yes. So prior to that, what did you do to make a living? I mean, prior to joining this workshop, what was your job? I was just farming my land and taking care of my descendants, grandchildren. So you started working after this workshop was built? Yes. And sometimes you can even bring the work to your home and finish your homework. Are you happy doing this job? Yes, I'm very happy. And we have those fans blowing fresh air to us, and we're also making money, and that's great. Does your family agree you're working here in this workshop? No problem. I have just one child, and he has no opinion, no opposition about me working here. So both me and my husband are working here, and so we are sometimes taking turns to take care of the grandchild. And so how is the pay here? How much money can you make here? We are both working here, and adding up, we could make 3,000 to 4,000 per month, and this is something incomparable if you do farming work. And if you do farming work, it's only a couple of days in a year, and you don't make a lot of money. And but right now we just work here throughout the year, which is very good. All right, thank you very much, and it's a blessing for those villagers, that they have this industry here. Hi, how long have you been working here? I have been here since the workshop was built. So this is quite common here, and so why don't you work out in some other places? I'm physically disabled. I cannot travel far away from my home, and I'm also from an impoverished family, and so I saw in my village there was this workshop, and I just joined this workshop, and this is very convenient. So I'm having some leg issues, and I cannot work in a very distant place. And if you go out and find a job, and it's very difficult. So do you enjoy the job here? Yes. Thank you very much. So through these two very brief conversations, we can see that with this workshop, we have created a lot of jobs, and very importantly, they are making some income through this. Thank you very much, Wang Yi, for your support, and we know that this industry has already become a very important one in this place, and you can see that we have those sofas and tables, and those are the products from this village, and this rattan weaving has already become a very important industry here, and each and every year it creates an output of 2 billion yuan, and it has alleviated a lot of people out of poverty. And at the end of 2019, it has waved goodbye to the cap of poverty. And so we now have with us Mr. Zhang, who is the party secretary of Pingyu County. And Mr. Zhang, can you give us some introduction about the industrial landscape of the county? So Pingyu County is a major one for China's poverty alleviation efforts, and we used to have 26,000 households in poverty, and by the end of last year, the whole county was out of poverty, and the poverty incurrence rate reduced to 0.82% in the end of last year, and the disposable income per capita increased from 4,700 to more than 100,000 by the end of last year. And through this rattan weaving industry, we have traveled on a journey of making great wealth, and we take into consideration our own realities, and we are also aligning our efforts to the general trend of the logistic industry and also the outdoor entertainment industry. And so it really feels like, entering into an outdoor environment. Can you give us some introduction about those products? So those are outdoor furnitures, and it can resist those great sunlight, and those products are exported, and 90% of them are exported to overseas. So has the COVID-19 affected our business? Since the epidemic broke out in April, we've seen some shrink of orders, and there is also some export issues, but since the middle of May, we've seen an increase of orders, and most of the enterprises have an increased order of 30%. So we have started incubating this industry, this enterprise, since 2015, and so we have a local entrepreneur from Huazhong Enterprise, and his enterprise actually moved back home from Ningbo. So we moved back in 2011 because, number one, our county leaders are very sincere in bringing us home, and we also want to make some contribution to our own county. So because this industry is labor intensive, and our county is an impoverished county, and we have abundant resources in labor. So I see there are some products behind you. Is this a product from your enterprise? I think so, but this is very sophisticated, and I just learned a little of weaving, but when there are some curves and turns, then it's very difficult. Yes, and this will require an experienced worker with an experience of at least 5 years, and because there are a lot of curves and different turns, and we have very thick lines and also very thin lines. So will an experienced worker handle this? No, not at all, not possible. So with what method are you producing those products? We are relying 100% on labor, on manual operation, and for machines, they cannot handle this because we have a lot of turns and edges. So this is purely handmade. So do you outsource some of the manufacturing to others? Yes, we have the headquarters here, but we have at different townships a lot of the operation sites, and we have more than 100 workshops, and we are helping 400 to 500 families in poverty. So if they become part of our efforts, they can make 2,000 to 3,000 per month. Well, thank you very much for your introduction. So I think one of the key roles of this enterprise is to engage in poverty alleviation. Yes, because this is, we engaged in this industry when those other provinces started to shift this business to other provinces, and so we were at a time of poverty alleviation, and so we just, brought those enterprises back home, and so this one is the first returnee of those enterprises. So you're the first to return. Yes. So what are the considerations behind that? Because in Zhejiang, we started to lose our advantages, and starting from 2014, we started to move to the hinterland, and in 2015, we just built these enterprises here. So how are you doing right now? So right now, we have the county government and the party committee of the county helping us, and starting from 2015, we have an annual output of more than 320 million. So how does that compare to when you were in Zhejiang? Well, we were one-fold higher than when we were in Zhejiang. Well, thank you very much. So he mentioned that you help them with logistics. What specific, how specific is that? So, because this is a export business, and they have some logistic bottlenecks, and so we just work together with the Zhoushan ports, and we have joint or interconnected logistics with rail transport and also maritime transport, and we have 52 enterprises already settled here, and we have Tai Wushen and Yongcheng from Zhejiang province. They have actually settled down in our county. So, is this bamboo weaving? Can you see the difference between these two different products? Well, I cannot tell the difference. So you can see the water cannot go through this. So we have some water-resistant material. And for this one, the one on the left is not using this material. The one on the right is using this material. And so we have some water-resistant material here, and you can even hold water in the basket. So you can see this. The water is already gone. And this one is environmentally friendly. And we also have some advanced material imported from Korea. Sorry, can you repeat? And what is that? So traditionally, you cannot use this underwater, and right now you can use that. Traditional water-resistant material cannot be used in water, but right now you can even use those material in water, and this can be used in bridges and bridge pillars, which oftentimes sink in the water. So you have the patent for this technology piece. Yes, we hold the specific patent for this particular link of the technology, and so you have dramatically expanded the application scenario of this material. So your county is also known as the county for water resistance and moisture resistance. How big is this industry? Well, this is a leading industry of our county, and one of the 5 pillar industries in our county, and we have 250,000 laborers working all across the country in this industry. And in the 1990s, the first generation of moisture-resistant workers traveled to other places of the country to engage in relevant industries, and then we brought a lot of them back. And nowadays, each and every year, the industrial output of this industry could reach 80 billion yuan. So I see there are some independently developed technologies. And what is the plan going forward? We have the plan to build 4 bases. The first is scientific innovation. We have Wang Yiming, who is an academician. It goes across different part of China, and right now it has become a industrial cluster. Exactly, we have already attracted 18 enterprises, and we are helping 3,600 poverty households, and because these enterprises, on the one hand, they bring those people in poverty to those workshops and industries to help make them money. So in addition to the moisture and water resistance industry, you have another industry which is white sesame. Exactly, we are the place of origin for the white sesame. So question, how important is this industry? Answer, it's very significant, and in our county we have 400,000 mu of white sesame, and we are integrating this industry with many different industries. We are combining the first industry, second industry, and also tertiary industry. We have planning, we have manufacturing, processing of white sesame, and we also have tourism industry that is related to sesame. So talking about tourism industry, and our colleague Wang Yi is now in a processing site for white sesame. So this is the sesame town of Pingyu County, and white sesame plays a very important role in this place, and this is renowned as the place of origin for white sesame, and white sesame is deeply associated with the local culture here. And today we have with us the chairman of the sesame town, and Mr. Hu, can you give us some introduction? Well, thank you for being here when the white sesame is blossoming. Yes, in Chinese there is an idiom. There is an idiom saying that when the sesame blossoms, everything is in progress. So we have here in this village 3,000 mu of white sesame, and the sesame industry has flourished through different periods of history. And right now we have recovered the white sesame plantation, and we have expanded the area of plantation, and we account for 1/20th nationwide in terms of plantation, and our output accounts for 1/4 of the whole country. And we are focusing on every link of the white sesame. We are leveraging its leaves and stems, and also white sesame seeds, and we're deeply integrating with the first, second, and tertiary industry. For first industry, it's basically plantation, and for second industry, it's processing of white sesame, and for the tertiary industry, we are developing tourism that is related to tourism, to white sesame. We are supporting 1,200 households in poverty. So can we take a look at your products? Yes, no problem, and let me give you a demonstration. So those are the sesame oil. Yes, so talking about sesame, and what comes into your mind is sesame oil and also sesame jam. So this is a sesame leaf. So you have mentioned sesame leaf, but what is this for? In Henan, this is very popular, and it contains a lot of nutrition. And if you go to Zhuma Dian without eating the sesame leaf, and it will be a great pity. And so we use the sesame leaf to process this, and you can take a look, and you can just simply put it in your mouth. It's super clean, and it has been synced. After syncing for 4 hours, you can use it to cook noodles. Yes, it tastes a little bit bitter, but you can still feel the fragrance of this sesame. So you said this can be used to cook noodle and also fry dishes. Yes. So this is another jam that we created using the white sesame. Well, you can cook steamed buns with this jam, and we have even developed a drink that is associated with white sesame. And we have also a snack that is made of the white sesame. And so this is a type of tea using white sesame leaves, and you can take a look at this, and you can even have a taste. So you can feel this very slight fragrance of the white sesame blossom. And we have another tea for males, and this is made of white sesame leaves. And the other tea that you have just tasted was for women, and it's made of white sesame flour. We even have an alcohol made of white sesame. So this is actually made of white sesame flour, and so you can make a lot of friends with this alcohol. So this is the snacks that you see at traditional Chinese festivals, for example, the Spring Festival, and you have very nice packages for this, and you can take a bite. Yes, and the fragrance is filling in my mouth, and it tastes like going back to your childhood memories. And so you can take that at night and take this in a day. So this is the sesame bars, and this is very popular among the kids. And the kids love this, and you can have a taste. It's very crispy and tastes like milk. Very delicious. So this is like a pancake, and we actually call it jiaomo, or call it some sort of a steamed buns, and the flour is actually made of the white sesame. So this is a very traditional snack in our county. So this is a newly developed product. This is also made of sesame. You can take a look, and you can take a bite, and it contains a lot of nutrition, and it's very good to your liver. Yes, very delicious, and you can tell it's made of sesame, and it looks ugly though. And now let's take a look at this white sesame honey. Yes, I saw that just now, and so white sesame honey is very popular, and it will bring about beautiful life, just as sweet as honey. And as we have mentioned, that this is helping more than 1,000 families in poverty. Thank you very much for expanding and flourishing this industry of white sesame. Thank you for bringing happiness to many families. So this is the processing plant. Yes, this is for the white sesame leaves. First, you need to rinse the leaves. Then you need to steam the leaves. The temperature is about 160 degrees. Then we cool them. Then we clean them again. After that, we dehydrate the leaves. Then we put them in a bag. You can take a look. So this is just like a drying machine. This is just like a washing machine. You can dehydrate the leaves. What about this one? So after the leaves are dehydrated and it's very sticky, and you need to rub the leaves and separate the different leaves. And then we have a conveyor here, and it's very slow, and it will bring the leaves to a wind tube. And this is about the finish. It's simply you need to further dry the products. And when it is made in a home, it has to dry on the house roof. But here in the production line, you have those drying machine, and it will not break the nutrition composition of the leaf. So this is the product that you see at the very end of the production line. So we can see that after different steps, processes, and you will eventually have this product. Yeah, you can eat this already, but for the tea leaves, they are quite different. You have to fry the tea leaves, but for this one, we're using a different process. So this is the packaging workshop, packaging area, and you can see that our workers are filling the bag with those leaves. So I saw the packaged products outside, and after packaged, it can be shipped to different supermarkets. So this is quite unimaginable. I thought white sesame can be only made into white sesame oil, and I never thought that this could be made into so many different products. How many workers do you have here? We have 60 here, and 10 of them are from impoverished families. And are there members working here right now who are from an impoverished family? Yes, we do have, and maybe you can have a word with him. Hi, good morning. How long have you been working here? I have been working here for just 1 month. So you are a newcomer here? Yes. How do you like it here? I like it very much. How much money can you make? I can make 1,100 every month. What did you do before that? I was just doing scattered work here and there. And are you away from your home? Are you very distant from your home? No, it's just nearby, 1 block away. So how many staff do you have at the production line for white sesame oil? We have 40. So this is a white sesame oil processing workshop, and so this is for washing, and after washing you need to dehydrate them. And then, so this is the input, this is the inlet, and this is the drying machine, and this is not just frying, and this is dehydration. And for the cooking of sesame oil, it's very sophisticated. You need to dehydrate them first, and then you can only after that you can fry them. And we have a big frying pan here, and you need to precisely control the temperature, and it's only when you reach certain degrees of temperature can the fragrance be guaranteed. So what is the temperature here? So it's roughly 160 degrees. So for how long do you need to fry? We need to fry for like 30 minutes. Wow, there are a lot of specifications and details that you need to watch very carefully. Alright, so this is the fried sesame, and it's super hot. And then you have a tube connecting this one to the next process, and you need to select some of the best sesame out. So this is simply for the sinking of the sesame, and then over there we have the packaging workshop. So just now through this production line we can see how a white sesame seed is processed into white sesame oil, and through many different efforts like this, and you are creating a lot of jobs for those villagers living nearby. And it is through this industry that the locals become richer and happier. Alright, thank you very much. So now I have some leisure time with me. I'm on a boat in a village pond, and I'm still sitting on a chair that is waved by those villagers here, and you can see that it's widely applied in different scenarios of our life. I'm not here to have a fun, actually. This is another feature of this village, and we just mentioned that this Xiyangtan village was oftentimes flooded over the year, but it is exactly because of this feature that tourism is a very suitable industry for this village. And so we have the head of the township, and can you introduce to us what are the features of the Xiyangtan village? So Xiyangtan village was out of poverty in 2019. It has 9 villages, and we're in Laowan village, and it's one of those villages. And so Xiyangtan County, we have Ruhe River, the old Ruhe River, and also the new Ruhe River. And in 1970, we had the big water engineering project, and we have straightened this river. And so we're now at the old Laowan River, and as you have mentioned that in the past, and there is a lot of flood in the years, and there were a very bad harvest from the land, and people don't tend to grow crops on those land. But right now, we have growing a lot of plantations and crops on this, and right now people are willing to pay 1,200 yuan for per mu to grow crops, and the government has given the land to the peasants and to the villagers, and the land is now released to the enterprises, and the local villagers, they are very willing to become a worker in this industrial park. So you are from a local here? Yes. So how much can you make every month? I can make 5,000 yuan per month. So throughout the year, how much money can you make? It's around 50 to 60,000 ki, and so it's a lot better than in the past. Exactly. So people have a higher level of satisfaction here. So we are now boating on this river. Is this specifically for tourists? Yes, and we are developing this countryside tourism, and I believe we are a AAA tourism destination, and we still haven't been officially registered. And when we are on a holiday, on an average day, we can attract 10,000 tourists. So we have the plan. So we expanded the width of the river, and so we are attracting more tourists, and that's how we can travel here on this river on a boat. So right now the ticket is 20 yuan. So how much revenue can you have in one day? Well, on an average day, they can harvest a revenue of 20,000 yuan. And right now, those boatmen, a lot of the boatmen, they are from families of poverty. And if they are from a family of poverty, and they can enjoy some commission out of every job that they do. For example, out of every training, they get 8 yuan. Hi, hello, hi. Are you here as tourists? So where are you from? We are from other villages in the county. So do you like it? Yes, we like it very much. So the kids, are you on a holiday? Yes. So this is the summer holiday, right? Yes. So we have 2 other boats there. Alright, so this is truly a very prosperous scene, and because we live in a plain, there is no big rivers or big mountains, and there is a lack of tourism sites. So are you tourist here? Yes. Do you like it here? Yes, we like it. Thank you. Have a good time. So through the poverty alleviation efforts, the whole village has taken a new look, and we have 5,500 people here in this village, and they have 6,000 mu of land. And right now, all the land of the village have been leased to the local enterprise, and the villagers, they have become workers in that industry, in that industrial park. So it's just the river, and it's also the lotus field. Hi, hello, are you on a vacation? Yes. So which grade are you in? I'm the first grade in the middle school. How about you? I have already studied work. How about you? I'm a third grader. So how much money did you spend on the ticket? 20 yuan. Do you like it? Yes. Are you locals here? No, I'm from Zhengzhou City. So it's 200 kilometers away. Where did you learn about this place? We were recommended by a friend, and because this is the lotus field, and the road is also very good, and we also have the river here. Do you have preparation? Do you have plans to buy some local products? Yes, we have plans to go to the market and buy some and bring them home. So the lotus are in blossom here. Yes, the blossom can last until September. So on our table we have a lot of products, and we have roughly 1,000 mu of lotus, and through the lotus you can have the lotus tea and the lotus seed, and also the lotus powder, and also the fresh lotus, which can be used as a cooking ingredient, and also we have the lotus noodle. And so after deep processing you can leverage the potential and value of the lotus. So we are traveling here on a boat, and we enjoy the beautiful scenery here, including the river and also the lotus field. And on our table we also have a lot of products made of the local materials. So what are those? So we have the white sesame powder, white sesame snacks, and white sesame bars, and we have sesame leaves and sesame cookies. And so you can take a look at the sesame leaves, and it's very crispy and very delicious. And here you have the sesame balls. The sesame balls can help you grow more black hair, and it's very delicious and very nutritious. So when is the time to harvest the white sesame? And it's in autumn, and right now we are growing the white sesame, and the white sesame is currently in blossom as well. And you can take a look at this white sesame. The white sesame has been de-skinned, and it's exported to Korea and to Japan, and it's very popular among customers in Japan and Korea. And this is the sesame tea, and this is the sesame flower tea, and this is also very popular. You can take a drink, and it's slightly fragrant, and you can taste the fragrance from the bitterness, and it's a very strange and very soothing feeling and flavor. And we have another deviation products, and we have not just the lotus industry, and we also have the poultry business. And we have, for example, goose and duck raised across this village land, and so this is the tomato juice, and you can enjoy this tomato here. Very sweet, right? Yes, and it's very juicy. And you can take a look at this tomato, and it's in grain. So why don't I share some tomatoes with our cameraman? So this is the watermelon from Lifangzhang village. It contains a lot of sugar. A couple of days ago, I tasted a watermelon from Henan province, and the sweetness is still lingering on my mouth lips, and let me just taste this one and see how different this one is. It's very sweet, and it's not very sweet. So we have examples here of poverty alleviation through labor, through tourism, through wisdom, and I have learned that the county has transformed from a county of farming to the first, second, and tertiary industry, and gradually this county is upgrading from the first industry to the tertiary industry, and I wish that the lives here can be just like white sesame, which grows better and better. Welcome to the poverty alleviation in village. Welcome to the CCTV finance channel, and welcome to the poverty alleviation in villages program. We are farmers in a new era, and you can scan this QR code and tune in our program. So a lot is happening in our county. For example, on July the 29th, the competition on water engineering and craftsmanship was organized in Pingyu County, and it has attracted a lot of contestants. And after fierce competition, the Pingyu, who is from Tuofeng Water Resistance Enterprise, has secured the first prize. And in recent years, the Pingyu County's water resistance industry for architecture, for the building industry, has been well recognized. Exactly, and each and every year we have more than 300,000 workers in this industry working across the country. For example, the Three Gorges Dam and the South to North Water Transportation Program, and also the Yuan nuclear power station. In all those national projects, you can see our workers in water resistance, and I wish every one of them a good results from the competition. So now let's talk about the white sesame industry. Yes, in Chinese we have an idiom says that life is better and better, just like the white sesame. And yes, this year we have a program about the white sesame, and we have a live program that has attracted more than 100,000 netizens. Yes, we have also cultivated a lot of celebrities, and this has become a new industry. Each and every year we have 201 workshops for white sesame. We are supporting 10,000 and we're supporting 13,000 families in household. Because of this wisdom, we have dramatically expanded the business of white sesame, and the white sesame seed has become